Welcome everybody, and good morning. I hope y'all have had a absolutely wonderful day today. I'm really excited about today's episode. We're going to go through a couple different things, today. But first, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about why it's important to own a cash flow asset. Why is it necessary to own a cash flow asset? Let's start with inflation. That's a fun one. Inflation dropped a little to 8.6% this month, which in large part is due to the drop in gas prices because the consumer price index is actually higher, up by 0.1%. Fortune magazine is reporting the housing market could crash 20%. And y'all saw what the markets did this week and how they hit an all-time low that we haven't seen since COVID. In a global season of unrest, inflation, and bear markets, we can only look to ourselves to secure our families, our future, and our financial freedom, and our long-term stability. Those who look towards the government to save them will find themselves disappointed. All the government is capable of doing is dumping more of your money into whatever they feel will get them more votes. And that's referring to both sides of the aisle. Don't believe me? The government spent $6.82 trillion in 2021. You know how much it brought in with taxes? $4.05 trillion, leaving us with $2.77 trillion more in debt. The government can't do anything for you but give back your taxes in the form of stimulus checks, healthcare, education, etc. But when they give back your taxes by paying for the services like college, they have to print more money to fund all the other promises that they've already made. All that printing leads to higher inflation, more dollars chasing less goods. And this has been happening for years under both parties. If you're putting all your trust in a salary job, on the other hand, which might seem like a logical thing to do, keep in mind that all it takes for unemployment to jump to a number that competed with the likes of the Great Depression is a global pandemic, which health experts estimate will have even more in the coming years. But I don't need to tell you all this because you're living it. Beyond just a turmoil, there's a morality question at stake here. What are we going to do to change those things? What are we doing to fight the market manipulation, the mass inflation, and other forms of financial abuse? Many might answer, why is that my problem? And you're right, it's not. It's your kid's problem. You may never directly be affected by the mass by the current affairs of things, but your kids will be living in a world where even the global superpowers can't afford bread if we don't start acting like we give a damn about these problems. I'm not trying to be bleak or coarse. Instead, inspire a sense of purpose, destiny, passion within you. What is it that you can do to contribute to these rising issues in our nations? To quote J.R.R. Tolkien, even the smallest person can change the course of the future. It's not a matter of doing big things. It's a simple matter of doing the right thing when presented with the opportunity. The problem is, we're not focused or present. We're distracted every day by the news, social media news, noise, and new shiny investments, and just putting food on the table. We are so distracted, in fact, that we miss the moments that present themselves that can have massive impact. That's why cash flow assets matter. They don't require your undivided attention like a job does. They're not leveraged by having hundreds of customers, meaning your future at a job isn't defined by one person and your company doesn't shut down after one client leaves. They buy back your mental capacity to dream again and your ability to be present and see the needs or the moments around you that might seem small while you're in them, but have the power to change the lives around you. They buy back the time with your family. Automated cash flow assets are the key to freedom and the key to impact, impacting your life, your family's life, and having more time and the life of those around you because of what you can accomplish with your newfound freedom. So, how will we at Husl help you build automated cash flow? I'm glad you asked. Let's dive in. So, Husl, sorry, had to pull that up real quick. Husl is building 5,000 automated online cash flow assets that are capable of producing monthly cash flow with minimal amount of work. All you need to do to turn one of these 5,000 cash flow assets into a monthly reoccurring revenue stream is put money into the automated paid advertising or time and energy into the SEO tools that we've built. Our team at Apollo 11 has already constructed all of the marketing materials, all of your paid ad materials, everything that you would need to turn one of these businesses into a cash flow asset, generating monthly recurring revenue every single month for you and your family. And if you have multiple, then you'll have a surplus to be able to go invest in things that you have always dreamed about building or investing in. And that's how Husl is going to help solve these problems. We're going to free so many people, thousands of people, from the mind blogging and mind blocking 9-to-5 jobs that they don't like. If you love your 9-to-5 job, that's amazing. These cash flow assets can still help you find freedom in the fact that they're going to make revenue for you that you can invest in other things and other projects that you have a passion for and in other problems that you have a passion for. I want to go through a little bit today on exactly what is included in these 5,000 businesses. We've talked a lot on these shows, on this show specifically, where we talk about the business, one of the 10,000 or one of the 5,000 businesses that we're building, and generating $10,000 a month. We've talked specifically about that business and the tools that we've already put together for that business. But what I want to go through today is I want to dig a little bit deeper. I want to talk about what are the actual resources that are available to you. What are the actual resources that are available to you when you mint one of these 5,000 businesses? So a couple of those resources are, of course, the paid advertising. Our team pre-develops all of your paid marketing, your paid advertising, your paid, the copy, all of the tools that we need to, or all of the resources that go into the paid ads on Facebook advertising. All of that is combined into a Facebook ad account and then added to a business management dashboard. And then all you have to do from that point is turn those ads on and put some money into those ads if you want to spend money in the ads. And then we also develop all of your graphics and your videos and your the other organic outreach resources that allow you to do outreach in an organic fashion. That's on social media, that's on writing articles, working on SEO, all of that stuff. We also work directly on your lead page. So we build you a lead page that is capable of converting people without any effort from you. So it's an automated onboarding and conversion process. We also build all of the email campaigns that keep your customers coming back and reading and being interested in your product, and customers that maybe signed up but didn't actually start paying for your product. Then that's what the email campaign is, because that keeps those customers coming back over and over again because they see through those emails additional benefits of using the product that your automated cash flow asset is going to have. We also work through all of your customer service. So the team at Apollo 11 builds all of the customer service for you and automates all of the automated chat bot and everything as well. So some of that we've seen here going through this series, and some of that we haven't seen. So we're going to dig deeper into that over the next couple of weeks. We also work through all of the tech support. So Apollo 11 handles all tech support for these products. That's part of your mint and your mint price, and part of the small royalty that we take off the top of every single one of the customers. We also build and work through the product. So you get one of 10 SaaS products when you mint one of these 5,000 automated cash flow businesses. All of these 10 automated SaaS products are capable of generating $1,000 to $5,000 a month. And that's not a cap. That's just what we've designed them to do. These entire lead pages and marketing sets that we're building for you, they're designed to generate $1,000 to $5,000 a month for you. And that's the goal of every single one of these businesses. Each one of these products, we're actually going through one of the products right now together. We're going through a product that is an app builder. It's the very first one of the very first of the 5,000 businesses that we are marketing in front of everybody here on YouTube and reposting in Discord and everything inside of our community, so that our community can see that these cash flow assets actually generate revenue. And that's what's most important for what we're doing here today. So you get one of 10 SaaS products, and you're going to end up getting other marketing tools inside of this business management dashboard that has all these SEO tools, a CMS where you can publish articles, and all of the different tools that you're going to need if you want to really deep dive into your cash flow asset and take it beyond $5,000 a month and really grow it into something that can, not just replace median income, but also surpass that and grow much larger. And so these assets are capable of going that length and going that distance if you're willing to put in the work. And if you don't, if you just want to put your time and energy in organic growth and money into paid marketing, then that works as well. And they're guaranteed to actually produce cash flow if you're willing to put the time into it. So we're super excited about what we're doing to help solve some of these problems that we presented earlier in the show. I understand that they might sound like lofty problems like inflation and all that. Those are pretty big issues. Like, what are you supposed to do about those, But it's all about local. It's you have a sphere of influence. You have people around you. You have a family. You have friends. What can you be doing to help those family and friends and the people around you when you're making more income and not having to worry about losing your job at any moment, or not having to worry about inflation eating 10% of your money every single year, which is exactly what it's doing. And so that's really where we're coming from and our heart and why we're doing what we're doing with Husl. And we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to dive right into checking out our advertising, the current business that we are building to take that business to $10,000 a month. I will be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back, and thank you for being here. Again, we're about to dive into building the business that is going to be worth $10,000 a month. We are going to generate $10,000 a month. We are taking one of the 5,000 online automated cash flow assets that Husl is selling. And to prove that one of these actually generates cash flow, we're taking it and we're going to use it and market it and using the exact same tools that you have and generate $10,000 a month, because we believe that proof is in the pudding, and we want to make sure that these generate cash flow before we ask you to actually purchase one. We believe that if any investor or a project or anything asks you to put money into something, that they should be willing to prove it. So we're super excited to start just diving deep into this business. And some of you have probably already seen a lot of this. We're going to see an update on our Facebook ads and our heat maps. But I wanted to refresh on some of the previously discussed data so that any new viewers is updated on exactly what it is that we're walking through. So let's dive in. The first thing that we're going to look at is the website. This is the marketing lead page that we developed for the very first of the 5,000 online automated cash flow assets, the very first lead page. So we built all the brand, the copy, the graphics, everything to really represent this this particular business. Now, keep in mind, every business gets a different product, a different niche, and a different target audience. So each lead page is going to be unique. Yes, that's 5,000 unique landing pages that allow you to generate that cash flow. And really, each one of these are expertly produced copy. We've done all the research on every piece of what the audience and what the niche actually wants to hear, and what's going to motivate them to actually click on something. So you'll notice here our very first of the 5,000 businesses that we're taking and growing is churchappnow.com. I picked this one because this is actually something that's close to my heart. I love working with nonprofits. I absolutely love working with nonprofits. And so this one, as soon as I saw this one, I was like, that's it. I want to grow that one. And that's something that I'm personally passionate about. And I believe that you shouldn't build anything if you're not passionate about it, because passion equals quality. And if you're passionate about something, you're going to produce a better product and a better experience for your customers. So this product here, or this lead page here, is Church App Now. We built all the brand, we did all the copy. We actually, a couple episodes ago, we've optimized a few different things, and I want to talk to you guys about an optimization that we're working on right now that I think is going to be amazing for this specifically. And I'll tell you why I think it's going to be great once we take a look at the heat maps. So this is the entire lead page. And it's pretty simple, but it's straightforward, and it gets them to the point, and it really communicates some of their key needs and their key problems that we solve for churches and for nonprofits. And so this is the lead page here. Again, you're going to get a actual management dashboard that has everything inside of it. Everything inside of it that you can use to manage your business. And I'll go ahead and show that to you here in a little bit. But for now, this is my dashboard. So Google Drive. You will not get a Google Drive. You will get a business management dashboard that has all of your resources and assets put directly into that management dashboard for you and ready to go. So for now, I'm using this management dashboard. So I have all my ads in here. I've got all of my advertisements. I've got all my video ad here. I've got my copy that we worked through for all of the different ads. We've dug into this in length on previous episodes. So go back, watch those previous episodes if you get the chance, and you'll see what we're digging in. We have our KPI here, which we'll dig in at a later episode. And then we have our branding documents. You will actually have an entire brand guide that will help you if you want to create your own graphics and everything as well, and your own ads. You're also going to get a roadmap, a growth roadmap, where our team is the one that actually walks you through the entire step-by-step process on how to turn one of these assets into a cash flowing asset. And then, of course, we have our Facebook ads, which we'll go through here in a second, and our social proofing and our heat mapping. All right, so let's start with our heat map. Again, this is not the heat map product that you're going to get when you purchase one of these 5,000 cash flowing assets. Instead, this is the one that I'm using right now because we haven't finished the development on the current heat mapping. So we're still working on that as we build out the dashboard. The dashboard is almost ready to show you guys some demos. It's fantastic. I'll be able to show you some screenshots here in a second as well. But the dashboard, management dashboard, is almost ready to start showing some previews. We're super excited about that. We have a long way to go, a lot of functionality to build into it, but it's almost ready to dive in. So give me a second, and I'm going to enjoy some coffee. Drop some comments in the Discord in the chat on where you're from and where you're viewing from today, and we'll dive right in I'm not sure. I know a living human being that can't or doesn't drink coffee to survive. So, coffee is the nectar of the gods. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's whiskey, Jared. So, if you're watching, all right. So let's dive right in. So heat maps are they tell you a story about where your customers are clicking, where they're scrolling, what is popular on your website and what isn't popular on your website. So there's different types of heat maps here. We have heat maps for your desktop, heat maps for your mobile, and heat maps for an iPad, a tablet. Now, we're not really going to care much about the tablet version because as you can see here, you have 16 visits. I'll zoom in a little bit. Hold on. So you have 16 visits on the tablet and 121 visits on the desktop and 141 on the mobile device, okay? So we're going to go ahead and click on the desktop version. And there's a couple different features in a heat map that you get. The first thing is you get to see where people click. So that's super important because you want to know where people are clicking inside of your website. So we review this every time we get on one of these calls. So if you scroll through, you notice, okay, not a whole lot of people are getting down here, but if they get down here, they're clicking on the button, which is what we want them to click on. This is just a code, or this is something that pops up in the heat map, but doesn't pop up in the real thing because it's just part of their code. They're still clicking, even after we cleared the data, they're still clicking on this Joel Scrivener down here, this review, social proof. So it's almost identical activity here, but you can see the most clicks are on this button, which is what we want. So that's awesome. And then we're going to go over to the scroll map. So this shows the heat of people scrolling. So which parts of your website are most popular, right? So there are some changes, it looks like, in this, which means down here, people are actually coming into the second section. So this is called the above the fold. This means every important thing that they need to know to make a quick decision is above the fold. It's the first page that they see, the first section of the website that they see is right here. And that's obviously the most popular. And then you scroll down and you begin looking at this second section, and it looks awesome. It looks like it's the second most popular piece, which is fantastic. As they scroll down, that means they're actually interested. If you're not interested in a website, what do? You just click exit. You exit out of it and you don't care, right? Which we have a solution to, and we'll talk about that as well here in a minute. Another optimization that we're going to make to this lead page. And then you keep scrolling and it's 50%, 50%. That's fantastic because this green is veering on 50%, high 40s, which is a little higher than it was before we cleared it. So that's good. You see in here, you get anywhere from 40 to 41 to, let's see, 37. So we're still in low 40s actually. So it's only just a tiny bit above. And then this is cold as ice, which means nobody scrolls to the footer really. And so it's a pretty informative way to understand your website and what people are doing on your website. Let's go ahead and check out the mobile version and see if there's any updates on the mobile version here. See if anything changed. Okay, pretty much the same. All right, so this is interesting. This was not here last time. You see how they're clicking on this? I'll zoom in here. Do you see how they're clicking on this underscore? That means that they think that that is a link. Whoever's on this thinks that that's a link. That's really good information. We should probably make it a link because if they're going to click on it anyway, you might as well make it a link and it'll be the same thing as this button here, okay? So that'll be one of our optimizations that we'll do here. Let's make a quick list actually of optimizations that we'll do here on the call. So link the text in header. Awesome. So make that a checklist instead, actually. All right. So that's a fantastic optimization. All right. And then we scroll down. We've got clicks. This is not as high of a click-through rate on this as we want at all, actually. We want that click to be a lot higher, and it's still showing that squished. So we'll take care of that too here. Then you scroll down. Oh, I'm still zoomed in for you guys. Sorry. There we go. Scroll down and let's see. Yeah, so not as many clicks on mobile. They get down to the bottom. It's hot down here. So they're not clicking throughout the pages, which is actually good, but it's still just not as hot as we want it to be right here. It's hotter on this than it is here. They see instant church app generator and they're like, that solves my problem. I want it. Let's go. So that's interesting to see on the mobile. Let's check out our mobile scroll map. So kind of the same story as the mobile or as the desktop, it looks like. Yeah, except it's cold as ice down here. So nobody scrolls past here. So what they're doing is they get the concept. They're saying, okay, I get the concept. And they scroll back up, which is what you see here. Kind of how some of this is choppy. That means they scrolled right back up. Page load is about the same as last time. No rage clicks. That's awesome. I think last time the rage clicks were like 100 because the website wasn't even live yet, and it was probably a bunch of bots, but that's awesome. Okay. All right. Good deal. So those are our heat maps. So those tell us a story. Now, I want to tell you an optimization that we thought of that we are going to add, and I want to see what you think of it, okay? So one of the things that we want to do is we want to increase the amount of people that are clicking on this button, right? So there's two ways we're going to do that. The first way is that we're going to put a tiny text under here that says no credit card required, right? So it feels like, oh, that's simple. You know, I can just get my app for free, no credit card required. The other thing that we're going to do, and this is where it gets fun. This is why I love optimizing these lead pages. And one of the reasons that we're taking you guys down a little bit of a deeper journey, you're not going to have to do any of this because all of this is either already done right now by our team or being done for your lead pages as we speak. Our team is already diving deep into the technology behind how we're going to manage building 5,000 lead pages and 5,000 businesses that are capable of actually generating money. It's not like just slapping 5,000 websites together because these have to generate money. Our name's on the line. The entire project is on the line, and we're proving it by building it right here in front of you. But these are the kind of optimizations that we're showing you so you understand the amount of work that's going behind these and that our team is actually consistently working on your behalf to build these for you. But you're not going to have to worry about any of this stuff. It's just fun, and I love it. And I love inviting you guys into this world. So one of the things that I got really excited about that we're going to add is we're going to add two fields right above this button, this Build My App Free button. And the field will be one field will be their website URL, and one field will be their email. And the reason we're doing that, the button will say, generate my app now. And the reason we're doing that is because what happens is if there's a website URL and it says generate my app now, then they think, okay, I'm going to put my website URL and I get to see my app, right? Which is what anybody would think when they go to this website. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to skip a couple steps because what happens is when you're trying to convert customers, any click, you lose about 30% of your viewers anytime they have to click something. So at any page. So what that means is every step that you're giving somebody, if you give them a seven point form to fill out before they see something, you're never going to get conversions because they're going to be gone at step 3 or step 4 at that point, right? So you lose 30% of the remaining audience every click. So let's say we have this page and let's say everybody clicks on it. Let's say we have 100 visitors, right? And then on the next page, we have another button. Well, only 70% or 70 people will click that other button. And then only 30% of 70 people We'll click on the next button. And so you see the trend. You're losing your audience. You're combing them down, which in some cases could be good if you're trying to isolate your audience down. But in this case, we want to get them signed up as fast as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the website field in there and a button right under it that says generate my app. And that way it's one step and they click it. And then what happens is we send them to a sign up form and they say, well, wait, I want to see my app. What we're doing is we're creating commitment, right? So by entering anything at all, their website, they're super motivated because they want to see their app, right? So by entering their website, all of a sudden they're committed. They're committed to the process of seeing their app. So once they enter their website into the field and they click generate my app, we're then going to give them a sign up form where they say, oh, I want to see my app now. Okay, fine. I'll enter in a couple more details, my name and whatever, and they'll click register, right? But they've already entered their email. So we can pass through their email and all they have to do is put their name and phone number, right, to register. And then after that, they get to see their generated app, right? So we're getting registrations faster and easier. We'll get more optimizations or more, clicks and registers a whole lot faster because we're giving them something. We're saying, hey, it takes 10 seconds. All you have to do is click this button and you're going to see your app. And then we say, hey, wait, we need a little bit of more information. And then boom, you get to see your generated app. And they get super excited about that. And then they see the product and they see that it solves their problems and they sign up, right? So that's a very small tweak in the way that you can convert somebody, but it's perfect for this audience. Now that's not perfect for all audiences or even all products, but also here's the golden ticket. We begin collecting their emails immediately and we start emailing them. And every email in the automated email series talks about, hey, this is another problem that our product solves. Hey, did you know that you need to start spending time on push notifications and yada, yada, yada. It keeps it at the front of their mind every month or every week when they get that email. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta finish that. I saw the app, but I never did anything with it, right? Because it's built, it's just sitting there. And then eventually you use fear. It's fear. It's really the fear of missing out. It's called FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. And we talk about FOMO a lot in the NFT space because that's 90% of what most NFT projects use to get you to mint is fear of missing out. Oh no, there's not going to be any left. That they're all going to be gone. And I've told you guys from the start, I was like, I don't want to use tactics like that. Like, I want to sit here and I want to be honest with my audience. And I want to tell you guys with our NFT project, like, hey, like these, you see the numbers in our Discord. You know how many people are whitelisted. You know how many people are guaranteed whitelist. Do the math yourself. We're not going to sit there and scare you, at the end of the day. Now, we'll be excited about it because we have an amazing community, an amazing audience, and we believe that these are going to do incredible. The founder card, when we mint on the founder cards on September 29th. Sorry, should have given a little context there. But so diving right back in here, that is one of the ways that we're going to optimize this conversion process. And I'm super excited about it. You will actually see that little form on Tuesday. When we go live on Tuesday, you're going to see the form on this website that collects their website and then pushes them over. It's going to be super exciting. I just can't wait because that, I think, is going to be the golden ticket in converting the audience that we've already produced on this website. So if you remember, a couple weeks ago, we talked a little bit about how our goal right now is not even to get customers, right? Our goal is to optimize, figure out what's going on, what works, what doesn't work, what are people clicking on, really to understand not just the Facebook audience, but also when they get on the website, understand their habits and what they're doing when they're on their website. That is 100% the goal right now. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to begin shifting that goal into, all right, great. We've got people clicking on the Facebook ad. We've got numbers coming into the lead page. We even have a couple people sniffing out the sign up page. But the reason we thought about this optimization is because they're stopping. They're stopping right at the sign up page. So when they click build my app free, I'm logged in here. Let me log out. So they're stopping right here at sign up, right? So you'll see here, it's blank, and they stop. They don't do anything. So I was like, okay, the reason that they're stopping is because they have no motivation on this page. There's nothing motivating to encourage them to finish this page, right? But what if they knew that right after this page, their pre-built app is waiting for them, right? To demo it. That's exactly what we want them to think. And so that's why when you go to the website, we're going to put that field right above the button, and they're going to say, okay, great, I'm going to put this in, this URL. I'm going to click build my app, and then it's going to ask me for some more details, but I know that I get to see my app on the next page as soon as I enter in these details. That's motivation, and that's what's going to convert these customers a whole lot faster. And so if you think that's a good idea, I want to know in the comments. I don't have YouTube pulled up here, but I will in the middle of the segment, and I'm really excited to see your comments and see what you guys think about that specifically. So I'm excited about that optimization. I think that's super awesome. And I personally think it's funny because the small things that you do, it's not even like brand is amazing. Your colors are amazing. Your graphics are amazing. All of that is great. But really it's the small things that happen that you change that make the biggest difference sometimes. Things like this link. This simple thing of somebody thinking that this is an actual link when it isn't a link, when they're not clicking on this right here, this instant church app generator that's underlined, when that's not a link, they click it and they get mad and they're like, whatever, I'm going to leave. Well, you just lost people. You lost some of your conversion. You know what I mean? And so it's really important to make the small tweaks. And that's what we're doing for all of the companies for you before it goes live. And so, and then by the time you get it, the optimizations, most of them have already been done because we've already learned our lessons on all of the first ones. So that being said, it is important to always be optimizing. And, our promise to the people purchasing one of the 5,000 businesses, sorry, I almost said investors. Our promise to the our community is that you get to just put money in and forget about this, which you do. But I'm telling you that the people that are going to take the time and energy to think and follow the growth maps and follow the tweaks that we suggest and follow all of that are really going to be the people that see a dramatic drop in cost per acquisition, cost per customer that signs up, which means less money being put in and more return on the money that you're putting in. And so whether you focus on that or whether you pay us to focus on that for you is up to you. But at the end of the day, nothing should just be turned on and left, because over time, there's a term, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot here, but I want you guys to understand. Like, I want to come towards this project with a sense of honesty and transparency. But there's this term in marketing called marketing rots. And it's true. It's your marketing over time slows down. You're talking a year and a half, 2 years, but over time that your marketing will rot, and you have to keep that optimized. And so either, you every 6 months just pay us to get things updated and cleaned up and whatever, or you just follow the tips and tricks that we've given you and you just spend, I don't know, an hour a week, a couple hours a week, just tweaking things, and we'll give you guidance. We'll help suggest you or give you suggestions on all of that as well. Now, obviously, our team are experts. They've been doing this for years. And so if you hired us, you'd probably have incredible results, but you can do it yourself. I'm not trying to sell anybody on anything outside of just the fact that you need cash flow assets like we talked about in the beginning. And so we're going to take a break, but when we come back, I'm going to dive deep into the Facebook ads. We're going to go and look at the numbers on the Facebook ads. We're also going to look at our social proofing and some of the details revolving around the product as well. So we'll be right back. Thank you very much. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We are diving deep into one of these 5,000 businesses that Husl is building, one of these 5,000 automated cash flow businesses. I am proving that one of them can actually generate cash flow. And if it can't, then you shouldn't invest in it. Excuse me, scratch that from the record. You shouldn't purchase one of the 5,000 businesses as NFTs. And so we're super excited. I did want to take a second though, and I wanted to go through what the founder cards are and why you should mint a founder card. So the big thing about founder cards right now is that let me back up. So every founder card is you're minting it for $500 USDC, right? Which might sound like a lot of money, but what we're actually doing is we're giving you a $500 discount off of minting one of the businesses, which means that founder card is essentially free. So here are the benefits of minting an essentially free NFT. So you're going to get staking rewards off the revenue of these 5,000 businesses. Every single one of these 5,000 businesses will generate money. Will they all generate $1,000 a month, $4,000? No, they're not. And that's just being real. A lot of people will put a lot of work in and a lot of people won't. And so our estimate is that about half of these businesses will generate a significant amount of money because people will actually put the time and effort into them. And then half of that will generate over what we're hoping or what the average business will generate. And so off of that revenue of 5,000 businesses and off the revenue of even the portion that is just skyrocketing, you're going to get a small cut of that revenue by owning a founder card. So we're going to take some of that. Apollo 11 will actually take a small royalty for managing your customer service, your development, all of the technical stuff. So you never have to worry about all of that. Your connections, the back end, the dashboard, your hosting, all of that fun stuff that nobody else wants to handle. Apollo will be handling all of that for small revenue off of every single one of the customers. So we're going to take a 20 to 30%. Right now, we're sitting at about 25% in full transparency. We haven't iron that out 100% yet because we want to get that as low as we possibly can. But right now, that cost is looking at about 25% of every customer that comes in to your product. A small piece of that is put into a pool and goes right back into the founder's pocket. Also, a small piece of every transaction within the Husl ecosystem. So I mentioned earlier about the services that you can purchase inside of the Husl ecosystem if you want us to do certain things for you and you just don't want to bother with it, right? Or you want us to just explode one of these businesses for you, which if you have the money, would be incredibly prudent because, again, the team is experts. The team has been doing this for a very, very, very long time, but it's not required. And I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, if you want to make serious money, that's what you need to do, because we're promising that you can make money without us. And that's the goal because these are automated. But part of when people purchase those small services, part of that money goes directly to the founder cards in the form of staking rewards. We also have a token coming, and this has kind of been teased for a while. But again, a small piece of the transaction fees on those tokens go to founder cards. You are the most important people to us is our founders, because at the end of the day, you believed in this project and you you believed in it with your wallets. And so at the end of the day, we want to reward that. And the founder cards are going to be so worth it when these businesses start generating cash flow. But they're going to be worth it before that because there's so many other benefits that we are working through on these, or that we've put on these founder cards. So not only do you get a $500 discount on minting one of the businesses, which makes the founder card 100% free, you also get the staking rewards generated from multiple transactions within the Husl ecosystem. But you're also going to get whitelisted for all future mints. You're going to get a free merch item, in-person events, and we're giving away $15,000 for founder-only benefits, or founders only will be eligible to win the $15,000 leading up to mint on the 29th. We're only 2 weeks away from that mint, guys. Like, we're super, super excited about that. So owning 5 founder cards will get you an airdropped a free business. That's one free asset, cash flowing asset, will be airdropped to you. And so and it doesn't burn your founder cards either. You keep your founder cards, so you still get your staking rewards. So we're super excited about that. Now, this is my absolute favorite perk of owning a founder card is you will be eligible when you own a founder card. You will be eligible to take part in over $1 million in ad grants that we are going to give right back to the businesses after we mint out of the 5,000 businesses. That means you could potentially end up just building a business for free, because if you mint 5 of these founder cards, you're going to get one airdropped. Now, I guarantee you're going to want to mint more, because the 5 founder cards get you a discount on one, even if you get it airdropped. And so you're really going to want to mint more. But anyway, especially if you're like me, and I'll probably compound up to 10 of them is my goal. So I'll take the profit off of one and just, not financial advice. But anyway, compounding is king. But and imagine that. Imagine 10 cash flowing assets working for you. And like, what could you do with $40,000, $50,000 a month coming into these businesses? Now, I'm not saying that's an overnight thing. That takes work. But, oh my God, like, when was the last time your W-2 job paid you $50,000 a month? Like, holy moly. And so, anyway, sorry, I get a little animated about it, but that's what I intend to do. But when we mint out on these 5,000 businesses, we're going to take $1 million and we're going to reinvest it right back into the community, but in the form of ad grants. So we will pay for your advertising for you, but to take part in that $1 million and to be part of that $1 million in ad grants, you have to be a founder. So we don't have all of the details on exactly how we're distributing it or whatever, but we have decided that only founder cards and business owners, you have to have a founder card and a business to take part in that $1 million of ad grants. And so that is my favorite perk out of all of them. Anyhow, I wanted to take that second and just dig into the benefits of the founder cards. We are minting the public whitelist, and or our whitelist, and our public mint is starting on the 29th. We will have exact details on times and everything coming up shortly, and we're super excited about that. That is a mere 2 weeks and a day, or 2 weeks and a couple days, I guess, away. So we're super excited about that. That is going to be awesome. The goal is to build just an incredible community of people that see value in this project and are willing to stand behind it in a way that maybe a lot of other people aren't willing to stand behind a profile photo. So let's dive right back into learning or growing advertising, our first of the 5,000 businesses, and let's dig deep into where we are with our Facebook ads. This is really exciting because we've got to watch these ads just grow over time, and the views grow over time, and our budget. So before we increase our budget, let's take a look at where we are today. So since we started these ads, let's change our filter here. We have spent a total of $471, okay? Now, we went back through the last couple of weeks. What I want to do is go through from the last time we spoke, which was last Thursday. I was sick Tuesday. I am feeling a lot better. Not 100%, but a lot better today. So I appreciate your patience, as we didn't even go live the last couple of days. We did yesterday. That was a lot of fun with Joel Scrivener. And I let him talk a lot because, he likes to talk. But I let him talk because I just wasn't feeling super great. So if you watched that and if you enjoyed it, drop it in the comments. Would love to know what you thought of that yesterday. That was a fun segment. We're going to do that every single Wednesday. Again, it's a part of the Husl Live umbrella, but it's called The Lab. So the show that we're doing is Husl Live, Husl Live, and the show that the segment that Joel and I are going to be working on is, or every Wednesday, is the lab. And that was a lot of fun. So drop in comments. All right, let's dig right into the last week. So the last 7 days since we've spoken. So we go last Thursday to this Thursday. We have spent $360. That's because last Thursday, we raised the budget. We raised the budget from $10 a day for the entire campaign to $50 a day for the campaign because we were confident that we had solidified which ads, which ads at that point were performing, but we wanted to give them all a little bit of fuel. And now we get to start breaking down the ads into, all right, you know what, this one doesn't work, this one we don't like, et cetera, et cetera. So let's take a look here. We've spent $360 in a week, and we have 41 cents a click. That an average of 41. That is amazing. Let's go back. For context, I want to show you guys. I think it was, I don't remember. I think it was on the 31st it was on a Sunday, so maybe it was the 28th that we started here. It doesn't matter. It'll figure it out for us. To the 7th, so the day right before we were at 60 cents a click. Some of these were $1 a click the week before. So Facebook really optimized and really got to a place where it dropped all of the cost, and it did the math for us. It figured out which of these ads are actually performing. So 41 cents a click, that is awesome. Now, we can probably get that even further the more optimizations that we do. But 41 cents a click is great because all we have to do is do the math and say, okay, so for every 10 people, we're spending $4. Every 100 people that go to the website, we're spending $40. So every $40 buys us 100 people clicking on or going to our website. If we can convert one of those 40 people to a customer, or one of those 100 people to a customer, then guess what? Our cost per conversion is $40. That would be incredible. That would be probably about a third, if not a fourth, of what most cost per acquisitions look like. Most cost per acquisitions are going to start at about $150 to $300, which might sound like a lot of money, but it's not, because at the end of the day, if you get a conversion at $100 a month and you paid even up to $300 for that person, you make your money back in 3 months, and then it's free money after that. It's just reoccurring. It doesn't cost you anything. It just keeps churning. That's why the cost per acquisition in SaaS products is usually pretty high, but it's okay. It's justifiable because you're building ongoing monthly reoccurring revenue that you don't have to manage. And you make that money back so quickly. And so it's a phenomenal investment when you do find that cost per acquisition. Now, are we going to convert 1 out of every 100 people that go to our website? Probably not, because that's not 100 pastors. So the chances are we're probably going to convert closer to 1 of every 200 to 300 people that go to the website. But we're going to work through that on our KPI once we fulfill some of these optimizations that we've talked about before. It doesn't even matter right now because we're not even tracking any of that. All we care about is people clicking these ads. That's it. Is all we care about is people clicking these ads right now and understanding where they're going on the website and what we can do to get them to click to sign up more. That's all we care about right now. So we're looking at these ads. 41 cents a click is fantastic. That's an average. We have this one that's doing just incredible, 38 cents, and then this one's 47. So this is about 10 cents more. That's not bad. That's not super expensive. So it's not a reason to turn this one off and keep this one on or anything. And then this one's 40 cents. That's fantastic. You notice one thing. Look at this. Video, video, video. The graphics aren't even being shown. That is a really interesting lesson here, an interesting thing to look at because, and I want to make sure, we're filtered on that. That's really, really interesting. So if we go back to the week before, they were shown a lot more. And I think Facebook was just like, nope, your videos perform better, so we're just going to show your videos. So let's open these up. And let's really dig deeper into them because they're just not being shown. They have no click-through rate. Let's see. I wonder. So what I'm going to do is before we turn those off, technically we should turn off all of these because all of the images, this one's not performing, this one's not performing, this one's not, and this one's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have our ads guy go back in. Again, this is nothing you guys are going to have to, handle or worry about here. We dive really deep. I want you to see the inner workings. We dive really deep into this stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to test one more thing. Before we delete these, I'm just going to test one more thing. I'm going to change what's called the placement of these ads. I'm going to have these ads, these image ads, only show on Instagram. And I'm going to have the video ads, I'm going to have two different ones, one that only shows on Instagram and one that only shows on Facebook. And I'm going to separate it so that we can test, because I think images perform pretty well on Instagram, but I also know that videos perform well on Instagram. Images don't perform on Facebook. So I wonder, the actual Facebook app, I wonder if Facebook is shutting these off because they're just not doing well on the actual Facebook feed. And so that's really interesting to look at. And you see nothing is really spent on them either. It's what's performing is these videos, which is awesome. So, and ignore this quality ranking. They don't like the quality because, again, it's marketing to churches. So, all right, let's look at our clicks. We have 871 clicks. That's fantastic. We can estimate, and this is a rule of thumb, but we can estimate that about a third of those are actually our audience. That might sound shocking, but the reality is people click on things they have no idea what they're clicking on. So about a third of those are really what we're going after and what our audience is. And so if you do the math, I'm terrible at math. Let me do it on my phone here, on my trusty calculator. Do you ever wonder why they didn't just why they gave us those stupid graph calculators in high school? And I went to high school almost 13 years ago. I'm trying to do the math. 12 years ago, I graduated 2010. So and yes, if you're doing the math, I graduated a year late. So hey, if you're ever held behind, guess what? That doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. I was like, screw it. I was actually homeschooled and I was held back a year because I had finished. The way we did homeschooling is we did all of one subject a year. And so I finished all of high school science my freshman year of high school. And then we start working on math in my sophomore year, but I didn't know anything. I knew no history. I didn't know a lot of the other subjects. And so by the time I went to public school, which was should have been for my sophomore, I was held back a year because I couldn't test through all of the subjects that everybody else tested through. And so they just said, nope, you're starting over, And so, and actually, no, I was supposed to be a sophomore, and they started me as a freshman. And so that being said, though, don't feel bad if you dropped out of college or dropped out of school, or, my oldest brother, he's made way more money than I have. Multi-millionaire. The dude, has two paid off homes that are worth millions of dollars themselves, and has done incredible for himself. And literally, he dropped out of school when he was 15. He doesn't know basic anything. And at the end of the day, he taught himself everything. He was like, screw it, I've got to learn math for business. And so he's a genius. So don't ever put yourself down, because you look at people, like my brother and me. I don't want to say look at me because I'm, high and mighty. I'm just saying maybe it'll inspire you, because I was living in my car. I didn't have anything, my family had all moved away, and I had very little support system, and dropped out of college. I was like, this isn't for me. And it was a Bible college at that, anyway, so I'm getting way off track. I'm sorry, but rest assured that you don't have to worry about success. Is not tied to the amount of education, or the amount of, it's tied to how hard you're willing to work. And yes, education might make it simpler or easier to be successful, but a lot of people that are educated don't find success. Probably about half of my 54 employees at Apollo actually have a degree. And guess how many of them use that degree? One of them. The rest of them, they're like, I can't find a job in this degree. Yeah, because jobs aren't built around degrees. Degrees should be built around jobs. But that's the problem, is they aren't anymore. So that's why I say college is dead. Sorry, I'm getting way sidetracked. So let me see what the math is. 290. So 871 divided by 3 is 290.33. So 290 churches or pastors or our audience or connected to our audience actually clicked on these ads this past week. That is awesome. That's fantastic. That's so exciting, because that tells us that they want this product, which we knew they would. It solves a million problems, but it's exciting to see your ads actually operating. So now here's the goal. Now we scale these ads. We start just scaling the crap out of them. We want to stay max at 40, probably max 50 cents, an average of 50 cents. Because as you add more money, sometimes the cost per click goes up a little bit, but we want to stay around 40 to 50 cents a click as we scale these ads. But as we scale them, what that's going to do is that's going to start just getting so many views on this website that we'll start getting conversions, because it's in mass, it's numbers. And then I guarantee when we add that new conversion form on there, we're going to see a jump in the numbers of conversions. And then as we add some more automated things on the product itself, and as we start moving from monitoring the ads every day to monitoring the website and the product itself every day and optimizing that flow, we're going to see conversions. We're also going to see conversions from the consistency of the emails, which next on our next call, we will start working through and going through, and I'll show you why that funnel, those emails going out every single week, are really going to help us bring back the people that viewed it but never really took any action, because they were like, it's cool, but I'm busy, I'm eating lunch, or I'm hanging out with so-and-so. All right, so we're going to dig deeper into, or we're going to raise the dollar amount once we get once I talk to the ads guy. He'll go ahead and replace these. We'll give them one more week. Do you guys want to give the graphic ads one more week? Go ahead and drop a comment if you think we should give the graphic ads, not the video ads, but the graphics ones, the image ads, another week to run and just play around with the placement. I think that'd be pretty smart. Let's take a look at our FOMO. Our FOMO is what this is this is our social proofing. So this is the little pop-up that comes down here and says, hey, so-and-so is looking at the website right now. So that helps, social proof the entire website. Like, hey, other people are looking at this. It's not a scam. It's not something, it's an authentic website that other people are interested in as well. That's what FOMO is. See right here. Someone from Atlanta, Georgia is viewing the website right now. Thank you, whoever's in Atlanta, Georgia, viewing the website if you're watching this. We've had 300 impressions, 8 engagements. We don't really need that many engagements on this thing, if we're being honest, because it doesn't really matter if they click on that. They just need to see it. So that means 300 people saw it. Let's just do this week. Let's filter down to this week. Hold on. What the heck? Oh, I see how I'm like, what is this filter? All right. This week, we've had 87 impressions, which means this is really interesting, and this is good to know, because, look, we said 290 viewed the website, but 87 actually saw this pop-up. This pop-up is delayed about, I think it's like 5 or 6 seconds, which means what that tells us is about, if 290, that means only about 100 people probably stayed long enough so they either clicked the Build My Church app now, or they got off the website before they saw the pop-up come up. So that's, I think it's like 6 seconds or something like that before this comes up. And in fact, you know what? We can learn right now. Let's see. Page load. Time to interact is 0.66 seconds. Where's average time on page? I wish we could see that. I thought we could see that on here. I think we can see that on Google Analytics. I'm going to have to pull that up next time for us, probably. Figure out how we can tell. But that's what we really need to know. This is the wrong dashboard. That's what we really need to know is like how long people are actually on this, because this is an interesting, I wonder why only 87 people saw that pop up. So that's not a bad thing. It's just a good information to know. That's still a lot of people in a week. That's awesome, especially for $50 a day. That's a fantastic number. That means that amount of people stayed around to actually give a damn about what they were reading, and that's good. Like, so if you do the math, we spent $320, I think is what it was. So let's do 360. So 360, and then we're going to divide that by 87. That's $4 for every person that actually gave a crap about the website. That's not bad at all, because if you know that they gave a crap, they stuck around, they're reading, they're scrolling down, 87 people, then, and it's $4 a person, then let's say that you want to stay at a cost per acquisition of $100, then we do 100 divided by $4. That means out of every 25 people that stick around and give a crap, you should have one conversion, right? So if you want to stay at 100 is a pretty low cost per conversion, though. I mean, or cost per customer acquisition. That's pretty low. But if that's your goal, that's your goal. So if 25, then 87 divided by 25. So we should have about 3 people on this 87, once we optimize the things we've talked about today, and once we get that cool little, add your URL and your email and then click build my app now or generate app real quick, then we should have about 3 people out of those 87 actually fill out that tiny form and add their website and click generate, which is the goal. And if that's, if our goal is 100 cost per acquisition, I don't remember what we talked about our cost per acquisition being. I have it written down somewhere, and I'm sorry, I don't have that at the top of my head, but I'll find that again. I want to say it was around $150 or $175 or something like that, which would be, that's a pretty, that's a good cost per acquisition. It's not average. It's not average in this industry. Shoot, man, when we were doing ChurchBase, when we owned churchbase.com, our cost per acquisition was about $450 per customer that came on. But keep in mind, they paid us $2,200, something like that. And so we made $1,500 off of them, and we were like, okay, great, that was our profit off of it. So it was fine to pay that much, and that shows you that it doesn't matter what your cost per acquisition is. It matters how quickly you're going to make that money back, So, awesome. I am I'm actually going to head out of, not out of town technically, but I have a lunch with some very important people that are going to help me get some legal setup and figure out some of the legalities of just some deeper stuff. We've obviously talked to lawyers and attorneys and all of the people that we can't SEC stuff for this project, but we're actually putting together some deep legal structures and all of that. Today, we are going to begin that process for these businesses and for the 5,000 businesses, just to make sure that we're doing everything above board, that everybody knows that this is a 100% legit project, and we're bringing in the top of the top legal minds and talent to help us be able to make this happen. And I have a meeting with somebody, or multiple people actually, today in about an hour, and the drive is 45 minutes away. So I'm going to leave you guys a little bit early today, and I'm sorry, but I wanted to thank you for being part of this stream. Thank you for being part of what we're doing. I'm really excited about the next Tuesday, when we get to dive deep into this again, and we get to walk through things you haven't seen yet. So pieces of the project you have, or product you haven't seen yet, the email campaigns that you haven't seen yet, and we'll know whether to turn on or off, or whether to keep on or turn off those graphic ads. And we'll do that live on the show as well. And you're going to get to see that new the new little form that they get to put their URL and build their app and everything. So we're super excited, and I'm excited to see if that works and how many people that converts. So Monday, though, we're going to end up going live as well, I believe, and then and we post our schedule inside the Discord, and then I will see you guys on Tuesday when we go right back into building this business that will generate $10,000 a month. So thank you for being here. I'm excited to talk to you guys in the Discord, and thank you for letting me jump off early so I can go to this super important meeting for this project. We are just ecstatic about how quickly we are growing. Don't forget to tell your friends about it. The more people, the more successful this project becomes. And we're at the end of the day, we're not naive. We understand that we're operating in a bear market, and this is not a year ago. This is not even in, last December or January, this past January, when projects just sell out, day one, and everybody's excited about them. We understand that what we're building is a long-term strategy, and we've built our roadmap in a manner that isn't dependent on us just hype, sell out immediately. And so we know we're working in a bear market. We know the mountain that we're climbing. And so all that being said, the more people that can come in and we can educate about this project, the better. And we're excited to grow slow and steady. And we're not going to sit here and lie to people and be like, oh my gosh, this is the most hyped project in the entire NFT space. It's hard freaking work, and I'm probably giving you TMI, but we are working our asses off every single day to build this project and make it a successful project. But we've also set it up where we don't have to hype, because we have investors and we have cash flow coming in. And guess what? I personally built multiple cash flow assets before this that I'm using to fund this entire project, on top of external third-party investors that are putting into this project, so that we're not dependent on just needing to hype all the time. And so I want the right investors. I want the right people to be behind this. I want the right community. I care more about us having the right amount of people involved in this project than I care about it looking like it's the biggest hyped project in the world. And so thank you for being an awesome, incredible part of this project, and I cannot wait to talk to you next Tuesday when we get to dig deeper into this and talk to you in the Discord and hang out with you guys. I will not be on tonight on the pitch deck, but our team has an awesome, fun experience planned, and so be on tonight's pitch deck at 7:30 CDT and on our Twitter space. So thank you very much, and we will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for tuning in.